Hey guys, this is me doing my week two reflection video on the Peaceful Warrior immersion. So I think so far the week two has been an very insightful and enlightening and powerful week to me, and there are like different reasons behind that. And I think the one major thing that I took away from this week um is the insight that we have discussed in the class, and I think they were very definitely very insightful, and I think they are something that I can. There are some ideas that I can apply in my future for maybe even for the rest of my life. So I think we have talked about like when we sometimes in our lives we just reacted to something intuitively and we just killed it. So, for example, like me, when I was playing tennis last year, there were a couple times I know that I'm gonna win this point even before my racket hit the ball. And once my racket actually hit the ball spin, and it even spin around after it hit the ground. So my opponent was not just he was far away from getting that, and I was so surprised because I like before I hit the ball, I know my opponent was not be able to get that, but I was like, what? How am I supposed to know this before this actually happened? Because it's not scientific at all. But Mr. Squires and us, we have talked about this in the class, and he actually explained this using the example of the lightning. And he said like when the light strikes the tree, it doesn't just like strike the tree accidentally, but it actually kind of just strikes the tree intuitively and like the intentionally. It's because like before the light actually starts to strike, before it starts to show up, the attraction between the positive charge in the trees and the negative charge in the clouds, they are already there. They are already existed before the light shows up and start to strike. So that's why when light strikes, it strikes right into the trees, not anywhere else on the ground. And that's something I think it was a very good explanation to what happened to me during the tennis games. It's like I just have that connection with the ball. Like before I hit it, I know I'm gonna win this point. And also another idea that we talked about in class today was the followership, because I think no one actually pays attention to this because we have paid our full attention to leadership. Like for parents, they always want their children to be the leaders, so they haven't dedicating their entire life to teach their children how to build up their leadership. And I think that's something that we have all learned in our school by our teachers over and over again, just repetitively repeating this process. But we have never ever get a chance to study the followership, to which like we learn how to follow each other, we learn how to follow the rules, we learn how to follow the orders that leaders give us. Because I think the reason why that people didn't even pay attention to this followership is that because we normally think follower is sort of just following, it's just like inferior to the leader, because leader is the one who is um in a dominant position, where followers they are just um in a position where kind of just like obey uh the orders that leaders give them. And I think that's something that I have never thought about before, the followership. So I think when Mr. Squires brought this up in the class, I thought like it was really really cool. And We also watched a couple movies, and also we have watched a TED talk by a neuroscientist, um, in from the Harvard University, where she talked about her experience when she accidentally walks into the right brain world, and she feels like it was just a fantasy. She feels like it was just a la la land. It was something not real, but she enjoyed that. She thought it was very beautiful. It was something that she probably would able to see again in her life. And I think that's something that really inspired me to think about what it's like to be in my right brain world. How is that different from just be in the left brain world? And also, I think going back to where the thing that I said in my week one video was that, like, I think I'm around on the right way um to find the answer for myself, like who am I and what am I. I think I'm getting there because I feel like I'm moving out from my left brain zone, and I'm kind of like moving toward my right brain zone. And for now on, like, I think I would like to use my right brain to think about, like, the questions, and just try my best to not think about the questions from my left brain. And I'm gonna see if I can really just uh, make any difference. And I mean, it's just the experience and the exploration of self discovery, and I'm gonna see if I can actually discover anything new in this process. And yeah, thank you.